Basketball is a game which requires players to have great agility and good instinct. It is very important that players can shoot well from multiple different places on the court so their team can win the game. If you want to be a great shooter, you need to have very good form and technique. However, you don't need perfect shooting form every time. Simply put, a player's form and technique will never be perfect every time, and you don't want to look robotic when you shoot. With this said, you can never become a good shooter unless you practice and use proper technique. Here is a video of me shooting in sync with Stephen Curry, one of the best basketball players in the world. At first look, these two videos may not look too different, but when examined closely, there are multiple differences which can mean the difference between a basket or not. Looking at the first still, both of our heads are in a relatively similar position. It is obvious that Curry has his ball position higher than mine, which allows him to shoot more quickly if he is under pressure from a defender. In the second comparison, Curry's back is a lot straighter and his head in a more upright position than mine. This gives him better balance to jump when shooting. Looking at the third still, Curry's feet have left the ground and he has a much higher jump than me. This gives him an advantage shooting over taller opponents, and he is also able to maintain eye contact with the rim the whole time while shooting. As you can see, there are obvious differences with feet positioning between Steph and I. By keeping his feet at a 45-degree angle to the rim, it allows to keep him much more stable for a good jump. In the next shot, the arrows show a clear indication between Curry's feet positioning and mine. Keeping them close together will allow him to land well with balance, so he can react quickly if an opportunity arises. The key difference in feet positioning is how Curry keeps his feet parallel to each other throughout the whole shot. This makes him more stable and therefore far more likely to drain the basket. As mentioned before, by keeping his feet closer together, he is able to land better and react more quickly if an opportunity presents itself. The transfer of weight from the legs to the upper body to arms is paramount to have enough power to shoot a three. In the first stage of the shot, my legs are a little bit higher than Curry's, which gives him more power and makes it easier for him to get a good jump. Keeping his back straight, Curry moves the weight through to his upper body and has started his jump while I am still on the ground. This makes it easier for him to transfer the weight through to his arms for a powerful shot. Keeping his back straight, his feet parallel and head forward allow Curry to exert his weight through his arms and deliver a powerful shot. It is interesting to see how these previously analysed components relate to the transfer of weight and how doing them properly can improve your technique. When you shoot a basketball, you use countless muscles, from the groups that keep you standing up to the ones where you bend your knees. We're going to focus on the arms, specifically what muscles and bones are used in the shooting action. Wrist. The forearm houses two key muscles for shooting, the flexor digitorum superficialis and the flexor pollicis longus. These muscles, represented by the red, connect to the tendons in your hands, represented by the purple lines. When these muscles contract, it pulls your hand up and fingers downwards, which allows the release of the ball in the direction of the arrows. Shoulder, upper arm. These muscles wouldn't be able to function, however, if it weren't for your triceps, represented in yellow. When your triceps contract, it allows your forearm to straighten itself on your elbow socket, pictured in white, keeping your arm upright and giving you power. The key angles that are different between me and Steph are the angles when the ball is about to be released and after it has been released. Before the ball has been released, Curry's arms are at a higher angle, giving him an advantage over taller players. Post-release, Steph maintains his high arm angles and his feet are straight, meaning he can land and move quickly. Keeping his head forward and whole body straight keeps him more balanced. When I first saw the footage in sync, I thought that they actually looked pretty similar to each other. When examined closely, as you have seen, there are big differences in technique and form. Changing a shooter's technique isn't very hard with good coaching, practice, and persistence. Here are some good drills that you can practice at home to correct your technique. If you have a court available, throw-ups are a great way to decrease reaction times and improve shooting technique. Because the bounce of the ball will never be the same every time, this will make the player more versatile in different situations in the game. Another great drill that can be done from anywhere with a hoop is step backs. Starting from 2 meters inside the free throw line, take a shot and step back, repeating this process until you feel like you have to change your technique to make it. This drill is great because it builds confidence from all over the court and develops the shooter's shot overall.